Om Jnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. It's never enough. What's that verse? The Svadu Svadu Pade Pade. What's that verse? How does it begin? Tad Srinvatang Rasagyanam Svadu Svadu. The Shonak says we're not satisfied. We want to hear more. We never because we get more and more taste at every step. Yeah. Vayam tu na vitriprama uttama shloka vikrame tad shinvatam rasagyanam swadu swadu pade pade. He says that we're not satisfied. By hearing about Krishna we become fully satisfied, but we're unsatisfied because we want more and more, become more and more greedy. Anyway, as long as we're on this mundane plane, we are subject to various limitations of time, physical limitations, like the voice starts to get worn out. Is that? Here's your voice. So, all right, I'll say a few words also, and more will be spoken later, Krishna willing. Krishna Katha will go on and on and on. Om Jnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyataf Parakamalam Shri Guru Navaishnavam Shashi Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Ditam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Purajana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Scha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So on behalf of all the devotees here, I'm also a guest of sorts. I'd like to welcome you all to the 4.5th festival, 4.5th annual festival here, because we had kind of a half festival in, what was it? April last year also, mini festival. Anyway, there are so many festivals. This is the 4th annual summer festival going on here in Lika, but there are other festivals going on throughout the year also. You also celebrate other festivals. This is Murari Gupta Das Adhikari, and his wife's life is to invite the Vaishnavas and serve them, and particularly to make a venue for various Vaishnava festivals. So thank you to Murari Gupta Prabhu, who's running off to do something to help make this festival a success. There are so many details to be taken care of. There you go. That proves the point. So many details to be taken care of, such as moving the mic approximately 1 centimeter so that the sound is amplified in a better way. That's a detail. 1 centimeter isn't much, but it makes a difference. There are so many details to be taken care of. So many thanks to Murari Gupta Prabhu and wife for their attitude of service to the Vaishnavas. As Purnachandra Maharaj, and seeing Purnachandra, who we used to call Purnachandra Prabhu, is the same wonderful devotee as he was previously, but is now known as Purnachandra Goswami Maharaj. So, very happy to see him in the sannyas dress. Be very happy to see others in the sannyas dress also, gradually. Gradually. So he was speaking of how Murari Prabhu is providing these facilities. And others, of course, work very hard to make this festival a success. So thank you. We're saying thank you in advance. You can say thank you again and again. Festival is made up of the devotees. There's no festival without devotees. So thank you all for coming. As Purnachandra Maharaj is pointing out, this festival is on a very spiritual note. It's not the very fact of opening the doors and welcoming everyone and not demanding you have to pay this and pay that, but please come everyone. This personifies the Priti Lakshanam, or the symptom of love, of which one? Which two, actually? Well, actually, all of them. But what are the 6 symptoms of love shared between devotees? Who can say? I saw on the board in Rijeka this morning that... Which one was that? Utsahan Nisyadharyat was on the verb. I saw one of them. So what are the 6 symptoms of love? Dadati pratigrihnati. So this is a symptom of love, that the giving, or please come, we're offering all facilities. And you want to give something to help make it a success? All right, you also bring something. This is the communist principle. What is it? Everyone give according to their ability and take according to their need. So that you were just talking about, Prabhupada was appreciating Gandhi and pointing out some of the faults in his ideas. So actually Prabhupada appreciated the principle of communism. Although he was very much against the communist governments for exploiting their citizens. He considered it a great aberration or deviation from the proper norm of human society. But he appreciated communism, but he gave the proper idea of spiritual communism. So dadati pratigrihnati, and definitely there's bhunkte bhojayate. That's very much required at a festival. They come, take sumptuous prasadam, and everyone cooperates with that. And naturally this will make an atmosphere in which guhyam akyati prichati, in which there will be a sharing of, when we say inquiry and confidence, sometimes we think this means telling all our problems, and I got this hang up, and this, my relatives don't like me, but actually that means inquire. As far as I understand, the main meaning of this is not unburdening our psychological hang-ups, but inquiring about topics of Krishna consciousness. Just like we find in Bhagavatam, that Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring from Shukadeva and trying to understand all the different points of Krishna consciousness. So this should create an atmosphere in which there are dynamic exchanges of Krishna consciousness. So festival means hearing and chanting about Krishna and cooperating in the service of Krishna with loving exchanges between devotees. Loving, this word love is one of the, actually every single word in the dictionary is misused by non-devotees. So simply to talk about love is meaningless without understanding what it means. The meaning that's ascribed to the word love is something sentimental, insubstantial, and actually just the opposite of love is exploitive. Actual love is giving without any expectation of return. That's only possible in Krishna consciousness. But love, as this word is misused by non-devotees to mean a pretense of liking someone while you're trying to exploit them. That's why we find in George Orwell's book, the ministry of love was engaged in there were three ministries. The ministry in George Orwell's fantasy. But it pointed out the condition of material life. The ministry of love was meant for persecuting people. The ministry of peace was meant for waging war. And the ministry, what was the other one? The ministry of truth. The ministry of truth was feeding and giving all the propaganda, all the lies to the people. So simply to say love and peace is meaningless. In Krishna consciousness there's actual love. And this atmosphere that yes, you come, please, take as much as you, eat as much as you can, and hear about Krishna. Let us discuss Krishna. So this will foster this loving atmosphere, trusting atmosphere. This will foster an atmosphere in which discussion of Krishna and topics related to Krishna is a very fertile atmosphere. So to make this festival, to bring it to its actual point, then we have to be very careful to, on one side, very positive to create the spiritual atmosphere, and on the other hand, very careful to keep out all those tendencies which can make the atmosphere mundane. So in this regard, I would request all the devotees, anyway you're doing that, serving, cooperating, all various services which are there, but try to attend the programs as much as possible. Naturally there will be socializing because you're meeting all your devotee friends after some time, but no prajalpa. Let's not have any mundane talk. Let's keep focused here on Krishna and Krishna consciousness. Let us discuss only topics that will help us to increase our appreciation and budding love for Krishna. Otherwise, there should be any other topics we don't want to discuss. That includes ISKCON politics, that omnipresent this point of discussion which we can't avoid, but at the same time, it's not the focus of our life. If we die thinking of ISKCON politics, I don't know exactly what will happen to us. We might get born in ISKCON as a gossip, which we've been in this life. But really our aim is the real purpose of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is Krishna consciousness. And Krishna consciousness means discussing topics of Krishna according to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, and chanting the holy names of Krishna and dancing. So please chant Hare Krishna, attend the programs, Mangalarti. Mangalarti has been scheduled at 5 o'clock, so you can all bathe in time and get up in time, and please everyone come. Vaishnav dress as much as possible, please. Of course, there are some objections to this term, but more or less we understand what Vaishnav dress means and what is and what isn't Vaishnav dress. So Vaishnav dress with tilak, this all helps to increase the spiritual atmosphere. If we dress in a way which shows that we want to be followers of Srila Prabhupada and members of the Vaishnava Sampradaya, rather than members of the non-devotional society. So please bear all these points in mind. I'm encouraging you, dance as much as possible. I'm saying this, but I won't be dancing much, if at all, thanks to, I had a minor accident, please don't get all disturbed and bring in 500 types of creams to. But anyway, for a few days I won't be able to dance much. But you all dance, please. And I request also when you're dancing to remember, when in the temple room, to remember that Shri Shri Gaur-Nitaya are here. So please remember that they are the Supreme Lords whose names you are chanting, and it is rather unusual to talk to people when you have your back to them. So the kirtan should be focused on them for their pleasure, and please don't dance with your back to the deities. That's a request. The schedule, what's the daily schedule? Murari Prabhu can tell us that. Well, I know it actually, I can tell you all. It's 5 o'clock Mangalarti, followed by Tulsi Arati as usual. 7:30 deity greeting. 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock Bhagavatam class, followed by breakfast, prasadam. 10:30 will be the first seminar. 12:30 will, well, it'll be posted, I can't remember exactly. 9 o'clock, 10:30, 11:45. And then for 1.5 hours will be the next seminar. The seminars are 1.5 hours, scheduled 1.5 hours each. 3 o'clock, prasadam. The morning seminars will be conducted by myself and Manida Prabhu, and the evening seminar 5 o'clock by Purnachandra Maharaj. 6:30 is evening arati, followed by various programs on various evenings. Tomorrow evening is questions and answers, so please bring your questions and answers, remembering Jivasya Tattva Jignasa. We should live for the sake of inquiring into the Supreme Truth. So you can write down your questions. It's a good idea to write them down. That helps to formulate the ideas clearly. That's tomorrow evening. In the evening after that, I believe a drama is scheduled, and like this, there'll be different programs in the evening. We also need some more translators probably, because I'm sure Ivanath's doing a great job over there. I can't say for sure because I don't know more than 3 or 4 words of Haravatsky. But you can't expect him to translate for, 7 or 8 hours a day. So, any volunteers? Yeah. There we go. There we have Vrishabh Prabhu, who speaks excellent Irish, and I'm sure he still remembers Croatian. Anyone else? Okay, well, you translators can work it out between yourselves. Achyutananda, you're not so. Is it? No. Okay. Alright, we'll have to try and find someone else. Usually, when I was here the first 2 years, Vinata Mataji, she's not coming this time, Divya Prabhana? She's a good translator. You're a translator too, but you're busy running around here and there. I just think we need more translators, otherwise, if their voice doesn't run out, their mental energy may run out. It's a tough job translating. It's very, at least I've found in the little translation I've done, it's very mentally taxing. Alright, well, and then the last program is prasadam again, usually, isn't it? There's usually some cake or something. This evening, have something? I think there's still something left. Something left from lunch, okay. Alright, well, I have, in my room there's some cookies and things. Cookies and grapes, and so we can hand them out between us. I also have books and CDs available. Yeah, but there's Dadati and there's also Pratigrihnati. I'm always trying to distribute them, because what's the use of making them if you don't distribute them? Of course, most of you have got most of them already, but there's no harm in trying.